We as humans can never hide behind the machines. Humans are ultimately accountable for any machine-generated outcome. So one big challenge I see is the current speed at which innovation in the field of generative AI is being placed on the market.
So today it's my pleasure to introduce Lisa Bechtold, Global Executive and Strategic Leader in Technology and Law, AI Governance Professional, AI Governance Alliance Working Group Member, and World Economic Forum. So Lisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Denis. It's such a pleasure to be here.
Has your perspective on AI governance evolved since you started?
Oh yes, it has. AI governance is a highly dynamic field as technological advances keep happening at the speed of light. What was a real game changer was the advent of generative AI with the launch of ChatGPT in the fall of 2022. This made AI available for everyone. It became tangible for everyone. So one big challenge I see is the current speed at which innovation in the field of generative AI is being placed on the market. The technology is becoming increasingly complex and sophisticated. And before a company makes a major investment, both the actual added value and the potential risks must be understood. Also, one has to always find the right balance. So what should be acquired and which tools do we better build ourselves? What's best for the business? What's best in line with our business strategy? Now, if we think of AI development and maturity like Sam Altman, chatbots and conversational AI has been the first level. But we have entered already the second stage, reasoning and human-like problem solving. So while this has been yet another big leap, with agentic AI now maturing, we are about to transition to another very impressive maturity level, where autonomous agents can learn and adapt without human intervention.
Nowadays, AI is being used for a variety of purposes across industries, countries, continents, and people turn to it for both professional matters and in everyday life. And naturally, scenarios of use differ from person to person. So what do you find most exciting about AI? And is there any particular smart tool that has helped you boost your own productivity?
So what excites me the most is the current speed of Gen AI innovation. New tools and applications are skyrocketing. It is hard to keep track. After all, at the same time, you don't want to miss anything. So for work, I'm using the enterprise versions of popular tools such as the Copilot 365. Internally, already back in 2023, we have launched our internal equivalent of ChatGPT based on Azure OpenAI. And we are continuously upgrading the functionalities of this chat companion. I keep being amazed by the performance, I have to say. At the same time, effectively mitigating the risks of AI technologies, including hallucination risk, remains key. In my private life, I love experimenting with ChatGPT 4.0, exploring its multimodal capabilities. And in fact, this is also some fun stuff I do with my kids. Exploring image and music AI generation together. This is fascinating and sometimes also a bit scary, but I think we have to experiment with those tools in order to properly handle them. It's all about learning. And sometimes flawed outcomes also are a good illustration of the risk involved.
Stay ahead, even when the world races by. Want to keep pace with innovation? Let me show you how. Andersen will equip you with all the tools and resources to turn your idea into a market-ready product. Schedule a free consultation on our website and start your success journey now.
And Lisa, could you please share insights into how AI is used in the insurance sector And how does it enhance the capacity of insurers? And are human experts still responsible for taking final decisions, for instance, when providing insurance? Maybe machines are mature enough to take over the decision-making process.
That's a great question, Denis. So across industries, the spectrum of potential AI-enabled benefits ranges from improvements in service quality to product portfolio expansions and upgrades to efficiency gains, increased productivity, and of course cost reduction. This is what we're also seeing in the insurance industry. In insurance in particular, traditional AI can serve to optimize risk modeling, while generative AI achieves a multitude of efficiency gains, for example via knowledge bots or in the area of claims processing or fraud prevention as well. It is crucial to assess the risk and impact that an AI solution does unfold on humankind. And this then informs what level of human oversight and governance is actually needed, what type of an intensity of human intervention is appropriate. This is the famous human in the loop. I think one can say that a human needs to be involved if an AI system can potentially generate harmful outcomes for human beings. We as humans can never hide behind the machines. Humans are ultimately accountable for any machine-generated outcome.
And I assume you would agree that while some use Gen AI to prevent fraud, others use it to bypass those defenses. And which of these two groups is leading the way? And how can we protect ourselves when AI knows its own weaknesses inside out?
It is, and it always remains, an arms race. Already today, generative AI can be effectively used for fraud prevention, that is, for the analysis and validation of insurance claims. And in particular, Gen AI is perfectly suited for anomaly detection and behavioral analytics. So Gen AI models can analyze data from insurance claims and policyholder behavior to help identify unusual, suspicious patterns. So, for example, if an individual submits multiple high-value claims across different policies within a short period of time, AI algorithms can flag these activities as anomalies in the system for further investigation. Also, AI can be used for document verification and effectively detect manipulated images, recognize inconsistencies in document metadata, and other subtle indicators of fraud. So as such, AI will significantly contribute to a more secure and reliable insurance system. Nevertheless, fraudulent attempts will not be fully eliminated.
But definitely, at your current position, you know typical scenarios of using AI for brazen or even criminal purposes. Could you please share some examples of the most striking cases, something that took you aback?
The use of deep fakes is clearly a serious problem. In the last few years, cases made the news where high-quality deepfakes, video or audio, were used for fraudulent financial transactions. For example, there were some examples where a deepfake of a CFO who advised to initiate a wire transfer of a significant amount of money to a fraudster during a video conference, for example, or a phone call. And unfortunately, such fake orders were executed without the necessary human validation. So without any confirmation in writing, without using the 4 eyes principle, and so forth. We are living in a time where access to deepfake software is easier than ever. So no big computing power or high costs are involved anymore. So we as humans tend to be quite vulnerable since we still tend to believe what we see. And we have to adjust this human validation. We have to find a new mechanism for virtual online content and apply a healthy skepticism in this field.
I have a futuristic question. In your opinion, how will AI evolve in the insurance industry in the next 5 to 10 years, and what kind of trends do you expect?
Now, looking at the current state of generative AI, in the near term, we can probably expect the transformation of distribution channels, both employee-led and digital channels. I expect this to continue in multiple ways. So first of agent productivity. AI-powered agents will navigate and produce content faster. We see this happening already today. And I also expect further improvements in customer interactions, just the quality. Then customer service and sales support is another area I see. Virtual agents will deliver 24/7 service consistently at a very high quality and can thus support customers better and more effectively in digital transactions. Then also hyper-personalization at scale. Customer centricity will be further optimized through more tailored communications, more tailored product offerings to best anticipate and respond to customer needs. And lastly, it's the generation of business insights and the quality of business decisions as well.
And in your opinion, what are the major risks related to the field of AI nowadays? Are these deepfakes, fraud, hallucination, taking over human jobs, or anything else? And is there any emergent trend that you find particularly disturbing today, something that may grow into a huge problem soon?
So AI will likely disrupt in pretty much every industry and enterprise, vastly increasing the efficiency and productivity. AI will have far-reaching effects on the workforce, its structure, and the way we work. AI will also disrupt education, so it will change the way children and students learn. Just think of the introduction of personal virtual tutors. So I could go on and on. The potential of generative AI to expand our skills, talents, and creativity as humans is extremely exciting and promising. At the same time, AI could also rewire our brain and could impact the way we as humans interact with each other. It could impact our ability to think critically if you keep relying increasingly on machine-generated output.
Lisa, rules and regulations are indispensable when it comes to such areas as AI. However, with them come certain limitations, just like in any strictly regulated sector. Doesn't it stifle innovation to a certain extent? What do you think? And how do we find a balance between ethical practices and turning bold ideas into life?
So personally, I don't think there is necessarily a conflict between being innovative and doing the right thing. So there must be some foundation for the responsible use of AI, either in internal or external guidelines, guardrails, etc. Actually, AI, the technology, is only a means. It doesn't really change the legal and cultural particularities that are prevailing in the various countries or regions. So therefore, even if AI tools are oftentimes globally scalable and could be rolled out across the world, national laws and regulations still need to be respected.
Now I want to change the direction a little bit and touch upon such a vital topic as women in tech. And when you started your career, did you have any sources of inspiration? I mean, outstanding women whose work has made an impact on our society? And if so, who were they?
So to me, it feels there is no way around starting off with Ada Lovelace, often being referred to as the first computer programmer and the first pioneer in AI. Just to be clear, she lived in the early 19th century, and her visionary ideas laid the foundation for future advancements in computer science and AI. So what fascinates me about Ada Lovelace is that she, over a century before modern computing revolution took actually place, she already explored the implications of the technologies. So how would individuals and society interact with a computer as a collaborative tool? Now going to the present today, I find Fifi Lee, she's a professor of computer science at Stanford University and also co-heading the Stanford Human-Centered AI Institute. I find her a great source of inspiration. Her dedication to the responsible development and deployment of AI is extraordinary. She's fostering a diverse and inclusive community and thereby paving the way for a future where AI serves the greater good.
Lisa, you are a global executive and a strategic leader in technology and law and hold a PhD degree. These are remarkable achievements for any professional, yet for women even more significant. Even though women in tech have greatly contributed to our world, their number is still disproportionate in comparison with men. Thus, in 2023, the World Economic Forum reported that they accounted for only 29% of all STEM professionals. What's more, they were mostly taking entry-level jobs. So, in your opinion, what should be done on state and societal levels to ensure more representation and equality?
You are absolutely right. The figures show that we still have to go a very long way. Many initiatives are already underway at both national and international levels, such as the UNESCO's initiative that was launched earlier this year to analyze and implement proposals to further improve gender equality at large. Generally, UNESCO is advocating for equitable access and the empowerment of women and girls to studies in STEM. In Switzerland, it is great to see that ETH Zurich established already back in 2014 the Society for Women in Natural Sciences, which is very active. And those initiatives are great, but still a lot needs to be done.
As a top-level professional and a woman, what do you personally do to raise awareness of this problem? And do you take part in certain campaigns or address the issue of gender equality in professional settings at conferences, seminars, and so on?
At Zurich and within my professional networks, including at the World Economic Forum, the AI Governance Alliance, I use conferences and corporate events to encourage and promote women to pursue the career they are envisioning, be this in law, technology, or some other field. First of all, I'm coaching and mentoring women, encouraging them to drive their career without compromising on the wish to raise a family. I'm a mother of 3 myself, and while raising a family in a dual career setup can prove challenging at times, it is not only possible, I have to say I find it also overall energizing and rewarding. And second, I'm an active member of the Stanford University's Women on Boards and also a member of the boardroom. Those are organizations that foster gender equality at the board level, where we still see significant underrepresentation of females across the globe.
So my next question is closely related to what we have just been discussing. Beyond the underrepresentation of women in tech professions, largely due to misconceptions about their abilities and prejudice, there is one more significant problem: gender bias in AI. So specialists worldwide, particularly women, have observed that gender bias frequently appears in generated text, products, and other outcomes. So what measures should be taken to address this concern?
This is a practically very relevant topic. And gender bias in AI, in fact, as many other biases, can occur at various stages. It can occur in the algorithm's development process, in the training of the data sets, and then in the AI-generated decision-making. So thinking about the training of AI models, the subjective choices that are being made during the selection, collection, or preparation of data sets can be crucial in determining potential biases. So, for example, natural language processing, NLP, word embeddings can lead to linguistic biases, also resulting in gender bias. The first step for AI to overcome such biases is making sure the training samples are as diverse as possible. So in terms of gender, but also ethnicity, age, sexual orientation, and so on. Also, diversity is key for the AI developers. If they come from different backgrounds, they are much better positioned to identify and mitigate the trap of potential bias. So there are promising practices on how AI can be used to address gender inequalities. So for example, AI-powered gender decoders can inform gender-sensitive employment hiring processes. Overall, it is key to apply a human-centered approach to AI, which is developed with the user in mind.
Many of us strive to visualize abstract ideas or concepts. So a colleague of mine was curious about what artificial intelligence might look like and generated pictures of it in various contexts. For instance, she gave a prompt, please generate a picture of AI reading a book, and so on. So what struck her is that most of those pictures were clearly depicting female characters, like female robots or girls in high textile cloth. So when discussing that with others, she heard a curious explanation. So AI is regarded as an assistant of humans, so it's a subordinate. And who has been traditionally regarded as subordinates? Well, women, with all those cliches about housemaids, secretaries, and so on. So could such a result be an outcome of bias fed during the machine learning process, or is it just a coincidence?
This is a great question, and I think, unfortunately, still a reflection of the still highly biased world we're living in. So generative AI models, large language models, most of the existing large models, they have been trained with all the data available on the internet. And such data in its pure state is reflective of all the biases that are present in our societies. So more precisely to your question, I think there is no easy answer. So whether an AI system exhibits biases and where the biases stem from often only becomes apparent after a thorough, time-consuming investigation of the particular AI system and model. In order to minimize such biases, techniques such as human feedback, human oversight, human collaboration, and so forth, such techniques can be used to identify and address the biases used in LLM outputs.
Thank you, Lisa, for sharing your thoughts with us. If you don't mind, I just have some rapid-fire questions to wrap up our talk. Please name a startup, project, or any other initiative launched by a female professional that you find socially important.
I'm fascinated by spatial intelligence, a big project by Fifi Lee, whom I mentioned before. Her startup, World Labs, aims to build large world models that understand and interact with a 3D world.
Robots with human faces or abstract designs?
Let's try to keep the human and the AI world separate.
Could you recommend a book any professional in your field should read?
The Alignment Problem by Brian Christian.
Can AI eliminate insurance fraud completely?
No, but I expect AI to significantly decrease insurance fraud.
Automated customer support or human touch?
I'm in favor of automated customer support with a human touch.
Starting your own business or achieving leading position in a company run by someone else?
So both routes are exciting, but I must confess I'm a big fan of Silicon Valley, its entrepreneurial spirit and the unparalleled drive for innovation.
And the final question, so will AI ever truly understand human emotions?
I guess 20 years ago the question would have been, will computers ever be able to automatically translate text? So, now joking aside, I mean, there will be cases where we would benefit greatly if AI could understand our emotions. Think of an automated emergency hotline, but in general, I don't believe that the goal should be to humanize AI operations.
Thank you, Lisa, for this exciting conversation.
Thank you, Denis.